Hello and welcome to a new section. In this section, we'll learn about module pool programming. This is also called dialog programming. So far, we have dealt with selection screens and list screens. These are auto-generated screens. For example, by using these parameters and select options keywords in our program, we could generate the selection screens. Similarly, by using the write statement in your ABAP programs, we could generate the list screens. So these are auto-generated screens which are created automatically when you use those specific keywords in your ABAP programs. However, with these screens, selection screens and list screens, you have limited control on what you can do. And then main purpose is selection screens are typically used for taking selection inputs from the user for your report programs, and list screens are generally used for displaying the report output. So these screens are more designed towards report programs. However, in SAP, using ABAP, you can also develop transactions that the user can use to carry out various activities. For example, if the user wants to create a billing document, he can go to this transaction VF01 and use this screen to create a transaction. So he'll input a lot of information, and then once he clicks on save, the document will be created in the system. So this is not a report program. This is a transaction using which the user can actually update the data in the SAP system. A report program is typically used to read the data from the database and show it to the user, whereas a transaction is used to input some data into the SAP system, like creating your orders, purchase orders, sales orders, or creating materials, creating vendors, creating customers. So all these are done using these transactions. So these transactions, we also call them dialog programs or module pool programs. In this section, we'll learn about these transactions. We'll learn about how you can create your own transactions using this module pool programming. And for this, we'll be using the third type of screen, which is called just the screen, or you can also say general screen. With selection screens and list screens, there's a lot of functionality that is provided by the system automatically. You just use the write statement and it generates a screen, and on that list screen you see that there's a lot of functionality involved. So it has its own menu, its own title, everything is coming up automatically. Even for selection screens, you just use the parameters or select options keyword and it provides a lot of functionality on the screen. So you don't do anything more than just using the keywords. But when it comes to using these general screens, nothing is automatically provided. You have to design your own screen, you have to link your screen fields to your data objects, and you have to define your own menus, your own titles. So everything you have to handle manually. Understanding this topic should indirectly help you to understand more about ABAP. So you should become more comfortable with ABAP at the end of this topic. In this section, we'll learn about how you can create these screens. So far, we've been using this executable type of programs. So for this dialog programming, we use module pool type of program. You can also do this with executable type of program, but module pool programs are designed specifically for these type of developments. So we'll be using this module pool type of program. One key difference between an executable program and a module pool program is executable programs can be executed directly by giving the program name in SC38. However, with module pool programs, you cannot directly execute them. You have to design one screen and link a screen to the program, and then you have to create a transaction code, and you can run them only using the transaction codes. Whereas for executable programs, it is not mandatory that you define a transaction code. And for executable programs, it is also not mandatory that it should have at least one screen. But for module pool programs, it is mandatory that you should have at least one screen defined for the program. So we'll be learning all about that as we progress in this section. And to do these developments, we'll be using different transactions. So for example, we use SC38 to create the program. And once you create the program, we use SC51 to define the screen. You can have n number of screens defined for your program. So to create these screens for a program, we use this screen painter tool, SC51. And then your screen should have a menu. You should have this menu buttons, application toolbar buttons, all these things. So we do that using menu painter, SC41. And you should also define a transaction for your programs without which you cannot execute these programs. So once you create a program and define a screen, then you should link this program and screen via a transaction code. So we use this SC93 transaction to maintain the transaction code. So like this, we'll be using different transactions to do different activities for this development. So instead of opening these transactions individually and opening multiple screens and handling individually, we can use this SC80 transaction object navigator, where you can carry out all these activities. You can load all these tools in the background. So without leaving the screen, you can load different tools and carry out these different activities. So it will be like one integrated development area where you can carry out various development activities using these different tools. So for this development, instead of using these transactions individually, we'll use SC80, which in turn loads these transactions based on what we are trying to do. For example, in SC80, if I try to create a screen, then it will automatically load this SC50 in the tool area where I can define my screen. Similarly, if I want to define a menu, it will load SC41 automatically. So we'll be using this object navigator for our development activities. So I'll go to SC80 object navigator. Here on the left hand side, you see this tree like structure. If you have high resolution screen, then it kind of displays like this. It is not really good. So you have to manage using this up and down arrows. But if you are using a normal screen, you shouldn't face this issue with the GUI. So here we can create the program by selecting this program radio button, program drop down in the first field, and in the second field you can give the program name. Let's say module pool, and give the program name. And click on this display button. If the program exists, it will display, otherwise it will prompt you, do you want to create it? Say yes. Click OK. And here you can select module pool program. Earlier there was a clear distinction between executable programs and module pool programs, where executable programs are purely used for reports. That's why when we discussed about these events, there were few reporting events which I said that can be used only in executable type of programs. So that was the restriction a long back, but now we don't have any difference between an executable and a module pool program. So earlier executable programs were used for reports and module pool programs were used for transactions. So in other words, if you want read-only access to the database, you use executable programs. However, if you want to have change access, wherein the user can input some data and save it back to the database, then we used to create these module pool programs. But now there is no difference. You can create an executable program and make it work like module pool program. You can create a module pool program and make it work like executable program. However, since we've been creating executable programs, let's create a module pool program now. So I'll select type as module pool, click save. So this is my program. In this object navigator, on the left hand side you have this tree structure where it will display all the objects, and on the right hand side is the tool area. So based on the object you are selecting, it will automatically load that tool. Since I've selected this program, it has loaded this ABAP editor automatically. And if you have noticed, when we created the executable programs, the first statement was report. However, for module pool programs, the first statement is program. Okay, go to change mode and activate. Now, to create various other objects for this program, like your screens, menus, all these things, transactions, you can right click on the program name and select create, and you can select what you want to create. So as I said, a module pool program should have at least one screen defined, because you cannot directly execute these programs. You have to execute it via transaction code, and to create a transaction code, you have to give a screen number for that. So that makes it kind of mandatory to have at least one screen defined for your program, without which you won't be able to execute. But you can have minimum one screen, but you can have any number of screens for your program. So we'll create one basic application and see how this whole program flow works. So first we'll create one screen. I'll say screen and give some screen number. You can give any 4-digit number. So let's say I'll create one screen 100. And this is your screen painter. So since I'm creating a screen, it has loaded that screen painter tool. Here you can see in the title it says screen painter. Give some short description. Let's say initial screen. Here you find various options. There are 3 tabs that you can see here: attributes tab, element list tab, and flow logic tab. So your screen has these 3 tabs. In the attribute tab, you maintain certain attributes. For example, the screen type. You can create 3 types of screens. One is a normal screen, which is the main screen that you create. Subscreen is something that you can load on your main screen. And model dialog box is if you want to display some pop-up screen, then we create a model dialog box. And when you create a selection screen using parameters or select options, it will create this selection screen. We won't be able to do it manually, but when you use this parameters or select options keyword in your program, it is actually generating the screen and the type will be selection screen. So you maintain this screen type. This is an important setting. And there are a few settings like next screen, cursor position. So we'll discuss this once we create our screen. We'll come back and see what options you can maintain here. So this is your attributes tab. And all the screen elements that you maintain will be listed here. So you can either manually maintain the screens elements, or we'll use this layout button to maintain them, and the system will automatically add all those elements under this tab, element list tab. And then in the flow logic, here you can call modules. If you remember when we discussed about processing blocks, I talked about one type of processing block which is module end module. And in module pool programming, we'll be keeping all our code in these modules, and then we'll be calling those modules from our flow logic. So you cannot write any code directly in this flow logic, in the screen flow logic. You can only call modules, and you write all the code within your module. So this is your flow logic. And if you click on this layout button, it will open that screen painter, the layout designer. If you are using SAP GUI for Java, you won't get it. This is only available in SAP GUI for Windows. So this graphical screen painter, using this we can create various screen elements, and once you create those elements, they will be listed under this element list. So all the elements that you create there will be automatically listed here. So we'll understand all about this module pool programming. We'll understand what are the various elements that you can create on the screen, and this screen has its own events. There are 4 screen events, so we'll discuss about those events, and we'll see when they are triggered and how you can use those events in your programs. So we'll be learning all of that. So if you actually look at this VF03 transaction, this is a module pool program. This is a dialog program where I can give some document number on the first screen, and when I hit enter, it takes me to a second screen. So for the same screen, they have multiple screens linked. So first they are displaying one screen, and based on my action on that screen, they are displaying another screen. And if you see, there are different screen elements that you can create, such as these drop downs. We call them list boxes, input output fields, push buttons, table controls. So these are table control. And if I select a button, here we have these different tabs. So we call them tab strip controls. So when I select a tab, it is actually loading one subscreen. So these are your subscreens. So we'll be discussing all this. We'll be learning one by one how to create input output fields, how to create checkboxes, radio buttons, table controls, tab strip controls. So we'll be discussing all of those things in this section. This is an introduction to module pool programming. In the next video, let's understand the screen events, and from there we'll start working on our screen graphical screen painter, which we'll be using to define various screen elements. Okay, so see you in the next video.